What's going on, you guys? I'm as always Mr. Grimreaper 2, and welcome everybody to my channel. And today I'm going to give you a classic film review. By the way, welcome to another episode of Back in Time. Today we're going to go back to 1985 of all years. The cult classic, Clue. Now, this film was directed by Jonathan Lynn, and it stars a plethora of individuals, including Eileen Brennan, Tim Curry, Madeline Kahn, Christopher Lloyd, Michael McKean, Martin Mull, and Leslie Ann Warren. And the whole point is that this movie is based on the popular board game. Of the same name, and the idea is that it in 1954, six strangers. This is like a whodunit sort of film where six individuals go to a sort of dinner party, and what happens during this dinner party is, based on the game. Of course, you know what the game is, Clue. So this film, before I get into spoilers and stuff like that. By the way, spoiler warning if you have not seen it, which is surprising because this movie came out back in 1985. So, this film initially got mixed reviews from critics and did poorly at the box office, but it's still a cult classic to this day. So we're gonna take a look at we're gonna talk about this film. So, okay, so as what I was talking about before, there's three endings to this film. Before I get into this, I want to talk about the Tim Curry. Tim Curry's character as the butler, Wadsworth. This had to be the most funniest character in this film that I've ever seen. This is the most hilarious that I've ever seen Tim Curry, and he does a really good job in this. The whole cast did a real good job in this. Even though this got mixed reviews, even though this movie did poorly, so people claim, this movie was as good as any. This movie was really good as far as story wise, as far as telling a whodunit story, the murder mystery story, and everything else. So let's get into spoilers. Okay, so the year is 1954, and as I said before, six strangers decide they're gonna go. They're invited by a person by the name of Mr. Body to this dinner party in a New England mansion, this giant New England mansion. So they meet a butler by the name of Wadsworth, played by Tim Curry. And as the night goes on, we come to realize that these six people have secrets, have secrets that they're keeping from each other. They have secrets. Um, in order to keep, the their secrets, in order for them to keep their secrets, Mr. Body blackmails each of them. Um, and the rest is film history. When, of course, we get the lead pipe, the gun, the rope, the wrench, the candlestick, and the dagger. All six weapons originally from the game, the board game itself. Um, um, During the film, three or four people, who also have pasts, end up getting killed during this film as well. The motorist, the cop, the Yvette, of course, who's the maid, um, Miss Ho, the cook, um, and what I found funny is that the three endings. There's multiple endings in this. There's three endings. Okay, so the first ending happens when Wadsworth is going through each of the endings and stuff like that. So, in the first ending, we see Yvette murdered the cook, Mr. Body, and Mr. Body under orders from Miss Scarlet, played by Leslie Ann Warren. We come to find out that Yvette was Miss Scarlet's, was a call girl for Miss Scarlet, who is like a madam or something like that. So, each ending winds up being the same. There's a guy who's just as an evangelist, but we come to find out he's a detective or cop, and or FBI agent, and he then arrests these characters. So, this movie, I remember watching as a kid. I've seen this movie thousands and thousands of times, and I still enjoy it. I still enjoy it as a kid. I still enjoy it now as a 30-year-old. But it has its pacing issues. It has some problems, but I'm not gonna fault it for that. I ended up giving this movie a 10 out of 10. This movie is a cult classic. This movie deserves that much. If for those of you who have been living under a rock or have not seen this film, go out, buy the DVD if they have the DVD out somewhere, and watch this movie. This movie is freaking hilarious with what it does. This movie is completely funny. I enjoyed the murder mystery aspect of this. Everything they did everything right, especially from the game, since it's based on the actual board game. And I thought it was good. If y'all have any requests for what I should do back in time, like any classic films from the 50s or anything like that, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see what I can do about reviewing them. So I am Mr. Grimreaper 2. That's going to be it for me, and I'll see you all in the afterlife. Peace.